Thanks for tuning in to the Drive On podcast, where we are focused on giving hope and strength to the entire military community. Whether you're a veteran, active duty, guard, reserve, or a family member, this podcast will share inspirational stories and resources that are useful to you. I'm your host, Scott DeLucio, and now let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Drive On podcast. Today, I want to talk about how veterans can find purpose through entrepreneurship after the military. A lot of us lack a sense of purpose after leaving the military. A lot of veterans are self-starters, highly motivated type individuals. Sometimes we even prefer to work alone, which we can pretty easily do if we're running our own business. And there's nothing wrong with that type of thing, right? If you prefer to work by yourself as opposed to in big groups, you don't have to if you own a business. If you own a business, you could work in a team. You can hire people. You can contract out to other people who may have other skills that maybe you don't have. Maybe you're really great at one particular thing, but marketing your business isn't your thing. You don't necessarily need to be an expert at that because there are people out there who can do marketing for you. And so you can work with those people as well, as much or as little as you need to. So it's kind of a better way in some cases to get out into the workforce without having to dive into a 9-to-5 job that's sucking the life out of you because you hate your coworkers, you can't stand the job, you can't stand the community or the environment that you're working in. It may not be sustainable to work by yourself long term, depending on what it is that you're doing, but it's a good start, and you can always add people to the mix as time goes on, where you start to see maybe holes in your business and you need some help with different things. I know I worked as an entrepreneur for probably close to a decade after getting out of the military because I just really enjoyed the benefits of working for myself, being my own boss. Some of those benefits, for me, it gave me control over my life, over my career. I got out of it what I put into it. If I wanted to take time off and I didn't want to spend a ton of time working late nights and all that kind of stuff, I didn't have to. And I could take time to relax, to go on a trip with my family, to eventually when I needed it, when I realized I needed it, I should say, I was able to get the mental health treatment that I needed without having to take time off of work and have to get approval from a boss. It gave me more freedom in that sense. And for me, it gave me the opportunity to create something that was meaningful. To me, I liked being able to take a concept or an idea or something from absolutely nothing, a blank page in a notebook, and come up with something from my own head, my own ideas, and that just started working and created an income. It put food on the table, kept a roof over my family's head. It allowed us to do some great things, allowed me to travel to some cool places, meet some cool people, and gave me lots of opportunities that I maybe wouldn't have otherwise had I not started my own business. And the other thing too is the business that I started. So I was in software development and website design. I never went to school for any of that type of stuff. I'm 100% self-taught on all of that. And there were very few places that were going to be willing to hire somebody without the formal education that I was missing. And so I decided to just dive in and do it myself. And it became a very marketable skill. I was able to build a business, which I eventually sold. I was able to create products that are now serving thousands and thousands of people on all these different websites. It was an incredible experience to be able to do. And now that's a marketable skill that I have. I didn't necessarily have to go to school, but I kind of learned through the trial and error of entrepreneurship. So I was able to use the skills that I had developed, I should say, in ways that I maybe wouldn't have been able to use if I worked for another company. Even if I was able to get hired by somebody else, I wouldn't necessarily have the creative freedom to do the things that I ended up doing. The other nice thing is the potential upside for the financial side of things. When you take a look at a job, if you have a fixed salary or even an hourly rate, there's a limit to how much you can earn. If you have a salary, you're going to make X amount of dollars per year. If you work a certain number of hours per week and you get paid hourly, there's a limit. Even if you work overtime, if you work even twice the amount of hours, there's still a limit to how much you can make. When you run the show, there's really no limit to how much you can make. It's really just based on the capacity of your business and, depending on the type of business. Like I sold software. I could create a piece of software once and I could sell that 1,000,000 times. And there really was no limit to the amount that I could sell it. And so there are jobs out there where there is nothing but upside for the type of business that you get into. And it gives you a lot of flexibility too, to balance your work life and professional life. I talked a little bit about vacations, but even just, being able to make it to your kids' sports games or practices, or, if your family wants to take a day trip, you can take a day off and go and do things like that. You're the boss. You can do the things that you want to do. Now, it's not always completely flexible. There's going to be some challenges. You're going to probably, especially in the beginning, face long hours and a lot of hard work to build a successful business. With anything, you look at people who are these quote-unquote overnight successes, but what you don't see are the countless days and nights that these people put in all their blood, sweat, and tears into this business. It's not going to be easy sailing from day one, but you can put in a lot of hard work in the beginning and you can create something that allows you to have that freedom that I was talking about, that flexibility in your personal lives. There will be financial risks too, and some uncertainties. I would highly suggest, if you are looking to get into any sort of business that you're starting on your own, that you have, I'd say maybe a minimum of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So take a look at your budget, take a look at how much you spent. Just look at your bank account, look at your credit card statements, look at how much you spent over the last 3-6 months, the last few months, and see how much money you're going to need for the next 6 months. And if you don't have that in the bank right now, I would not suggest jumping into starting a business. At least not 100%. I mean, if you have a job on the side, a job, and then you start a business on the side, that's okay, because you're able to slowly get into it. And then as the business starts getting some traction, then you can maybe start to replace that income with the business that you had on your job. You can maybe leave that job. But if you're going to jump in, both feet diving into the deep end, I would highly suggest having some money saved up so that you can continue to live the lifestyle that you live, maybe even scale it back a bit, so that you're maybe not going out to dinner every night or every couple times a week or whatever it is. Save some of that money so that you can stretch that money a little bit further, give your business a chance to start to take off. Because you may start a business, you may think it's a great idea, you may have a great plan, you may have everything you think is in order, but then nothing happens and nobody is buying your products or your services, whatever it is that you're offering, or at least not as many as you were anticipating. And so you're going to need to have something to fall back on. Otherwise, the business is going to fail right away, and you don't want that to happen. So there are risks financially. There's some uncertainties when it comes to that. You're definitely going to need to have a solid business plan and understand what the market is looking for. again, you could think that you got the greatest thing in the world, but if nobody wants it, it doesn't really matter how great the idea that you have is, because it's really nothing more than that. It's just an idea. So you have to do some research. Survey your target audience. And I'm not talking about family and friends, because those are the type of people who are always going to say, yeah, this is such a great idea. Oh my gosh, I would absolutely buy it. And they may be a customer on day one, but on day 20, they're nowhere to be found. You won't find those people again. They'll support you in the beginning, but then they kind of disappear. And so, not faulting them, it's just, they have their own expenses that they need to worry about, and their own household finances that they're dealing with, and they can't 100% fund your business. That's just unrealistic. So you're going to have to understand where the people are that are going to pay you for the things that you're offering. And I'd also highly suggest, I know a lot of veterans like to be kind of do these things on their own. The idea of being an entrepreneur is great because you can work by yourself. You don't have to have a huge network of people, but I would highly, highly, highly suggest having a network of some sort. We had what we called a mastermind group, where it was 4 to 5 different business owners in the same industry. We were, in some cases, competitors, but sometimes we were offering complementary products to each other. And we would help each other out. We'd bounce ideas off each other. We'd just kind of just support each other in ways that we wouldn't necessarily get. You don't necessarily get that from a spouse or a parent or a neighbor or just a friend that you would go grab a beer with. Other like-minded business people, if you get those people together, a lot of times they can help each other grow each other's businesses by saying, hey, I tried this thing and it worked for me. Why don't you try this? It might solve that problem that you're having. I found this tool or this resource that maybe you didn't know about. And they, all of that knowledge comes together, and it just creates like one big pool of information that's available. And it's really great. It's a great thing to have in your corner, is that network of people who can support you. Again, it's not for everybody, but if you have that network in place, it will probably help you more often than not. Maybe not having direct competitors in that group, but other similar companies, people from those companies. So, if you're a service company, other service industries, if you manufacture products, other manufacturers, but maybe not necessarily the same type of product that you make, those types of things will help everybody in that group. So, there are a lot of other resources too. So it's not just, weekly mastermind group where you sit down and discuss things. There's also LinkedIn groups that you can post to when you have questions or, a problem that you're trying to solve. Hey, has everyone faced this issue? And can you help me solve this issue? And then people might have solutions to those issues, and they might help you out. Those are other ways, but a mastermind group is a more structured, formalized way of doing it, and that might be a better way. You start to learn about the individuals in your group. You start to help each other out. You know what their pain points are. They know what your pain points are, and when they discover things, they may even, outside of the group, they may just reach out to you and say, hey, this is something I think might help you. I remember you were talking about this a couple weeks ago. This might be a benefit to you. But there's a lot of other resources available too. The Small Business Administration, SBA, has programs and resources to help you plan, launch, manage, and even grow your business. So no matter what phase of the business life cycle you're in, whether it's just an idea that you've scratched down on a napkin, or it's something that you've already started. You're trying to grow it. You're just trying to figure out how to manage the business. The SBA has resources available there. They also have, I believe they have loans that they offer and assistance for getting federal contracts. So, I mean, definitely check those resources out through the SBA, Small Business Administration. The VA also has a Veteran Entrepreneur Portal, the VEP, Veteran Entrepreneur Portal. That makes it easier to access federal services. Similar to SBA, helps you start a business, access financing, grow your business, helps you find federal contracts. And there's also this program, which I wasn't aware of until I started doing some research for this episode, but there's a program called the Vets First Verification Program, which basically verifies your business as a veteran-owned or service-disabled business. And it can give you a leg up when contracting with the VA. So if you have a product or a service that the VA may find useful, definitely worth checking out that program, because that will help you move to the top of the pack when they're evaluating different businesses. That just gives you a leg up in winning those contracts. The VA has a vocational rehabilitation and employment programs, and those programs range a wide variety of different things, from finding traditional jobs and educational resources, training, those types of things. But one of the programs that they offer is the self-employment track, which can help with developing a business plan, training in various things that you might need to know, like how to market your business finances, managing things like that, just overall managing a business. I mean, that's not something that maybe comes natural to you, and you may need some help with that. So this VA vocational rehabilitation and employment programs, the self-employment track, can help with that. And they can also help you with implementing your business plan. And a lot of these sound similar. Between the couple VA programs, SBA, they all sound very similar, but there's nuances to all of these things. So take a look at those. And the reason why I'm bringing these up to you right now in this episode is because there's a lot of different options available, a lot of different resources available. So if you're thinking, gee, I don't know how to start a business, I don't know how to make a business plan, do I even need a business plan? How do I get financing? Do I need to have financing? All of these things are kind of tricky. And the answer to all of that is it depends. It depends on the type of business. It depends on what your current financial situation looks like. It depends on what your market is, who you're going after. All of these things, it depends, right? And so I'm just bringing up these resources because you never know what one of these programs might have to offer that will just help you get that kickstart that you need to get your business up and running and move from there. There's also nonprofit organizations and other resources available as well. We've talked about plenty of those resources on this podcast through different episodes. A couple of them, Boots to Books was just recently on. We talked about veterans starting a franchise business. So if you're not wanting to go gung-ho right in off the bat, solo entrepreneur, you can still be an entrepreneur, but operating a franchise business, which already has a proven business model. A lot of the resources are available through the franchise business itself. So think about a McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks. Maybe not a Starbucks. I'm not sure if they're franchised, but a lot of different companies like that, fast food industries. But I mean, it's so many different industries. It's not just in the restaurant or fast food industries. So many different industries have franchises, and they have resources available. They want you to succeed, so they're going to help you succeed. They already have the marketing done. They already have a lot of the business plan pretty much done. Really, it's running the business and the day-to-day stuff that you're going to be responsible for. So, a franchise is another great option there. WP Connects is a organization that gets veterans involved in the WordPress industry, which is an industry I was a part of for, probably close to a decade or a little more. Military Transition Roundtable, another organization that we talked about on the podcast. Shift 6 is another one. It connects veterans with the auto industry. So, if you're looking to get into the automotive industry, maybe it's as a mechanic or, some other part of the auto industry, that's another option as well. Battlefields to Ballfields gets veterans involved in officiating sports. So, while that may not necessarily be an entrepreneur type of thing, it gets you into a career that maybe you wouldn't necessarily have access to otherwise. They help you with the training, they help you with the equipment that you might need for various sports. And gosh, there's a whole host of other resources out there. So think about checking out some of those organizations too. Go through the list of episodes on this podcast. We have an employment section on the homepage. Click on that, and there's all those episodes that are listed there. I think there's over 40 episodes that are listed that talk about different organizations or even just different paths that people took to start their own businesses or get involved in that transition after leaving the military. So, that's just another option there. So check out those episodes as well. And I'll link to some of these in the show notes too. But going back to the networking and that group of people, it's really important to have people in your corner who are there to help you, to make sure that you are not just sitting there on your own, struggling and failing on your own. Another organization we talked about, just talking about episodes on this podcast, is a Veterans Beer Club. While it sounds like a drinking club, it's really a networking group, and it's a place where you can go and you can talk to other entrepreneurs, other business owners, other just other people in different industries, and you can just connect with those people, and maybe there's the opportunity to work together or help each other out, or even, but perhaps even sell your products or your services to some of those people who may be in that market. It's not 100% geared towards that, but if that opportunity arises, it's there too, So it's mostly there to help each other out. It's really to help network. Maybe you're not the right person for helping this person out, but maybe you know that person who can help somebody else out, and so you can refer them out to somebody. But it's really that community mentality where in the military, we worked as a team, we operated as a team, and we were stronger as a team. And so the more you can have that team mentality, the better off you're going to be. There's also groups on LinkedIn. I may have mentioned that earlier. Groups on LinkedIn that you can chat with people about different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be veteran focused groups. They could be specific to whatever industry you're looking to get into and break into there. So just be aware of these opportunities that are out there. Overall, it's super beneficial to be an entrepreneur. If you're seeking a sense of purpose, creating something from scratch and building it up from nothing and seeing how far you can take it, it's super fulfilling when you get that business off the ground and that first dollar comes through. It makes you feel like you're holding $1 million in your hand, because it's like you created that and that's yours. That's 100% yours. It's not a paycheck where you're getting a portion of the pay that somebody else got coming in. So I really do want to encourage people to check out Entrepreneurship. If you're transitioning out of the military or if you recently transitioned out, it's an option. Seek out those resources I talked about, the SBA, the VA resources, and some of the other nonprofits that I talked about. And there's a lot of support out there that's going to help you. You don't need to know everything about everything with starting a business. And so check those out and see if that might be the case for you, that these organizations will help you get your business, get your idea, get your dream off the ground and up and running. So let me know what you think about this episode, about being an entrepreneur as a veteran. Maybe you're an entrepreneur yourself. Let me know how that's going for you. Let's talk about it. And just reach out. Let me know how that's going for you. Let me know what you think about this episode. And thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Hopefully this information was helpful. And I'll have all of the links to some of these organizations that we talked about, the SBA, the VA, resources and things like that. I'll have the links to that in the show notes. So if you are interested in that, check out the show notes and we'll connect you with those resources. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode, and hopefully we've provided you with some resources that will help you out. Thanks for listening to the Drive On podcast. If you want to support the show, please check out Scott's book, Surviving Son, on Amazon. All of the sales from that book go directly back into this podcast and work to help veterans in need. You can also follow the Drive On podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.